Patty got Rhonda and Sherry tonight. You'll go on and whip on those tough old birds. So the reviews were great on our match. You did really good, though.
Thanks. Asshat Scott insisted on it. We're not trying to step on you or lay Fem's toes. I remember the last time I was here, and it didn't go very well at all.
Yeah, well, that's been squashed for a long time now. You didn't know you were coming out of pocket, and I pointed it out. I like you enough to have at least told you, instead of jumping you like some nobody peon. Not Dee Dee, we're good.
Good to know. I don't think Pats and me are gonna have too much trouble with Sherry and Rhonda. We've both beat Em before. So what's your deal? You not scheduled tonight?
Latham's got a 6-woman tag with Angie and Las Reinas. Gotta be here to back up my girls.
I hope they win. Good luck, Jeannie, and I guess I'll see you again soon, right?
Yeah, I think we will. You and Patty, you'll be cool. And again, good luck tonight.
You too.
Fans, welcome back to the second half of tonight's RWL race from Edmonton. Don Hickson, Myron Schimmelman, and Hangman Tex Lynch here with you for the second half. 3 huge matches on tap, 2 big ladies matches, and the main event involving the German super soldier Josef von Schmidt and Rob the Bod Whitley. Plus, we got a terrific 6-woman tag team match involving Les Femmes Fatales, Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, and Taylor Holly Combs, and they're going to be facing Angie Angel Guns and Las Reinas.
That's right, but first, there's one that, well, now. Sherry Martel and Ronda Rousey of Too Short Papa's stable joining forces in a non-title matchup against Patty Powers and Liberty Belle Danielle.
Welcome back. Our second half opening match is a non-title tag match, scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, representing Bell Unlimited, from Venice Beach, California, Ronda Rousey, and from Nashville, Tennessee, Sherry Martel.
And so the regrettable business between Jake Ferrantino and Too Short Popeye Scott Bell continues, this time in doubles, in a double act, with Sherry Martel and Ronda Rousey joining forces for the first time, as I understand it, facing American Powers in this non-title ladies tag matchup.
And you know, that little douche nozzle can cry all he wants, but he's the one that makes these decisions for his people.
Yes, sir, Too Short is a yellow dog of a cowardly cat, and everybody knows it. But Ronda Rousey and Sherry Martel, that is an interesting combination. Ronda Rousey with that MMA cage fighting style, and Sherry Martel, a seasoned veteran in the ring, should make for an interesting combination against American Power.
And those 2 ladies tags seem to be extraordinarily busy, not only on Snarl, but here making a rare appearance on RWL Rage.
Their opponents, they are RWL Women's Triple Crown Champions, and the reigning RWL Women's World Tag Team Champions, Powerhouse Patty Powers, and All-American Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote, American Powers.
Well, Dandy Don, you know you folks here at Rage, you've got Dynamite Jeannie Parker and Les Femmes Fatales. Us all over at Snarl, we got Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote, my honey, and Powerhouse Patty Powers, one of my second favorite people in the whole world, the ladies Triple Crowners, American Powers, making a rare exception, showing up here on Rage tonight to face Too Short Papa's pairing of Ronda Rousey and Sherry Martel.
And I don't think Sherry Martel and Ronda Rousey have very much of a chance.
Frosty the Snowman has a better chance on the corner of Hellfire Boulevard and Brimstone Lane, Don.
Guys, I'm banking on them not having a chance. I've done everything but slap a hex on those 2.
Alright, in a rematch of sorts, it'll be Ronda Rousey and Patty Powers starting things off in this tag team matchup. And there's a little bit of bad blood between these 2, that's for sure. The bell sounds. They come center ring. They're locking up, power and elbow. Patty Powers whips Ronda Rousey to her team's corner. Gets a hold of her. Headlock punch. Ronda comes out of the corner. Patty goes behind. Gets a hold of her. Has her up. Back suplex from Powerhouse Patty. Patty Powers Rounds up Ronda Rousey, clubbing overhand right to the back. Ronda whip to the other team's corner again. Here comes Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote. Danielle with a kick to the ribs of Ronda Rousey, a drop toe hold. And into an immediate submission. Danielle wasting absolutely no time. But Ronda Rousey counters with a couple of shots to the face. Back up on her feet. Gets a hold of Danielle Heathcote. An axe kick. Takes Danielle down to the canvas. Danielle trying to get back up on her feet, but Ronda Rousey right there. A hard forearm. Takes Danielle down to the canvas. Ronda Rousey rounds up Danielle. Hard whip to the opposing team's corner. And Ronda Rousey going to take it herself. Smashes Danielle's head into the turnbuckle. It's a hold over a series of driving knees into the midsection. Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote. Danielle counters, finds her way out of the corner. With this, turned her attention away to Sherry Martel. Must have been momentarily distracted. Ronda Rousey with a discus punch off the shoulders to Danielle Heathcote. Danielle whipped again to the opposing team's corner. And again, Ronda Rousey with a kick to the leg. Danielle comes out of the corner. Ronda Rousey gathers her up again. A knee to the head. And down goes Danielle. Ronda Rousey again whipping Danielle to the opposing team's corner. And here comes Sherry Martel with a shot to the ribs of Danielle Heathcote. Sherry Martel certainly not fond of either member of American Powers. Danielle quickly counters, goes behind on Sherry Martel, delivers a shot to the back, whips her to American Powers corner. Danielle takes herself up to the middle rope. And an inverted dragon sleeper hanging Sherry Martel up there. Drops her down and allows her to roll out towards center ring. Danielle rounds up Sherry Martel once more. Whipped into the opposing team's corner. Here comes Patty Powers on the tag. And here's an assisted an assisted shoulder tackle. Patty drives an elbow into the head of Sherry Martel. Patty Powers firmly in control of Sherry Martel, and American Powers firmly in control of the opposing team here. Here's a cover. One. But just the one. Sherry Martel finds her way out of danger here as Powerhouse Patty rounds her up again. Hard whip to the American Powers corner. Another tag to Liberty Bell Danielle. Another kick to the ribs for Sherry Martel. Sherry quickly evades. Tags Danielle with the right. Misses with the chop block. Catches a boot to the face from Liberty Bell Danielle. Here's the tag to Ronda Rousey. Sherry catching one more stomp from Danielle before she leaves. Danielle opens up with a series of chops on Ronda Rousey. A drop toe hold and right back into the leg lock again. Another possible submission. But Ronda Rousey turns it around. A series of shots to the face of Liberty Bell Danielle. Rousey quickly put to a stop here by Danielle, but countering with a series of elbows. Danielle Heathcote elbowed over. And a clothesline from Ronda Rousey, keeping Danielle on their side of the ring. It's actually a very wise strategy. Ronda Rousey catches a forearm from Danielle. Danielle goes behind, has her up in the electric chair drop. Boom! Oh man! Ronda Rousey tags in Sherry Martel. Danielle hasn't seen it coming. They lock up. One arm suplex. And boy, Sherry Martel went rolling. Liberty Bell Danielle whips her to American Powers corner. And again, takes herself up to the middle rope. Inverted dragon sleeper hanging Sherry Martel up there. And just lets her crumble to the center of the ring. Danielle covers and hooks the leg. One. But Ronda Rousey breaks up the pin. Danielle Heathcote figuring out where she's going to go next. There's a stomp to the midsection of Sherry Martel. Danielle going for the crossface center ring. No ropes for Sherry Martel to get to. And she's won many a match with this submission, but she releases the hold. Sherry Martel looks like she might have been squeezed out. Patty Powers comes in on the tag. Patty Rounds up. Sherry Martel gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the corner again. Sherry Martel spending an awful lot of time in the American Powers corner. Patty Powers smashes her head into the turnbuckle, tags her with a hard right hand. And again, smashes Sherry Martel's head into the buckle. Here comes Danielle Heathcote on the tag. Here comes another double team from American Powers. Sherry Martel whipped to the ropes. Back body drop for Sherry Martel. As Liberty Bell Danielle pursues Sherry Martel to the outside, changes her mind on the high-risk maneuver, goes after Ronda Rousey, instead catches a forearm to the face from Ronda. Danielle not giving up yet. Here's a shot, and here's an enziguri. And both members of Ronda Rousey's team are down as Patty Powers is brought in on the tag. Powerhouse Patty waiting for Sherry Martel to get back in the ring. Sherry charges. Here's a Luthez press and a series of hard right hands to the head of Patty Powers. Sherry Martel turning her attention to Liberty Bell Danielle, hangs her up the top rope. Patty Powers right there, locks up Sherry Martel. Sherry counters with elbows to Patty Powers. Patty backs off. They lock up. Patty shoves her away, charges. Shoves her away again. And another Luthez press. And another series of hard right hands from Sherry Martel to Patty Powers. Sherry Martel. Looks like she might be beating it out of town. Here's Ronda Rousey on the tag. Patty Powers on the ropes on the other side of the ring. Ronda Rousey catches a shoulder from Powerhouse Patty. Patty rounds her up. Snaps the arm on Ronda Rousey. Catches a slap to the face from Sherry Martel. Well, that's not gonna sit well. It's Patty Powers. Ronda Rousey opens up with a series of shots and a DDT. Taking Patty down to the mat as Ronda Rousey goes for the cover. One. And just a one. Patty Powers powering out of the pin. A little bit of showboating here from Ronda Rousey. And well, they are an extremely unpopular team, both her and Sherry Martel. A series of wrist clutch kicks to the side of the head of Powerhouse Patty. Patty back up on her feet. Catches a cheap shot from Sherry Martel and a knee to the head from Ronda Rousey. Ronda with the advantage at the moment. Patty comes back inside the ring, goes behind on Patty Powers. Hard shot. Patty Powers whipped to the ropes. Patty puts on the brakes, delivers a shot to the midsection herself. Ronda Rousey whipped to American Powers corner. Patty countered by Ronda Rousey. Turning her attention to Liberty Bell Danielle again, and back to Patty Powers, a series of kicks to the ribs. Danielle with a forearm to the face of Ronda Rousey as she returns to go back to work on Patty Powers. A kick to the calf, draped over the middle rope. Ronda Rousey takes Patty Powers down, now into a series of mounted punches, schoolyard bully style. Ronda Rousey with those MMA skills steps out, and here comes Sherry Martel. Sherry moving in on a way out Patty. Patty catches a stomp to the leg. Another stomp from Sherry Martel. And a third. Patty Powers looking like she is in trouble, and Sherry Martel seems to be enjoying it all. Patty trying to get back to her feet. Sherry Martel turns her over. Delivers an elbow to the leg. And Patty Powers don't want to consider tagging out at this point. She is taking quite a bit of punishment from Sherry Martel. And another stomp to the leg. Sherry Martel rounds Patty Powers up to a standing position. Hard whip to the opposing team's corner. Sherry Martel moves in slowly, catches an elbow from Patty Powers. Patty locks up. Sherry Martel slams her face down to the canvas with an impromptu facebuster. And here comes Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote. Sherry Martel back up on her feet. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Danielle whips Sherry to the corner. Hard shot right to the face. Down goes Sherry Martel. A stomp to the midsection. Now Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote putting the boots. Well, Sherry Martel as she rolls out center ring. Danielle rounds up. Sherry Martel gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the American Powers corner yet again, but this time Danielle going to take it on her own. Drives Sherry's back into the turnbuckles and a German release suplex that sends her to the other side of the ring. Followed up with a stomp. Danielle rounds her up. Look at this. Fisherman with a bridge and a cover. 1, 2, 3, and there you have it. American Powers defeating Sherry Martel and Ronda Rousey by pinfall.
10 minutes and 6 seconds, and your winners, American Powers.
Oh, Myron, I would imagine you're insufferably pleased with yourself, and this particular outcome is once again too short. Popeye Scott Bell is embarrassed this time at the hands of the women's Triple Crowner champions, Danielle Heathcote and Powerhouse Patty Powers, picking up a pinfall win over Sherry Martel and Ronda Rousey.
This is why we love them over at Snarl, man. They're the best. Consistent winners.
They most certainly are. Powerhouse Patty and Liberty Bell Danielle picking up a win. We've got more RWL Rage coming right up, right after these messages. Alright, this next 6-woman tag, definitely something special, something outside of the box. As Angie Angel Guns, the women's international champion, joins Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera, her grandnieces Los Reinos, facing Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, and Taylor Holly Combs, Les Femmes Fatales.
Well, hey, all right, that is a little bit out of the ordinary.
Yeah, well, we needed something special for Les Femmes Fatales. And hey, Angie and Los Reinos volunteered.
Be kind of a long shot for them to win, though.
This next 6-woman tag team match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring first, from New York City, Women's International Champion, Angie Angel Guns, and, from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera, Los Reinos.
And when I tell you they volunteered, they volunteered. Giggling like schoolgirls, all looking at each other like, should we do it, should we do it? And sure enough, here they are. They're gonna have a very tough time with Les Femmes Fatales. Jet, Mimi, and THC, of course, protégés of Dynamite Jeannie Parker herself. She is extremely proud of Les Femmes Fatales and the championship status that they hold here on RWL Rage. You are right, Tex. Snarl may have American powers, but we've definitely got Les Femmes Fatales.
I know Angie's women's international champion, and I know that her grandnieces have got some serious talent. Ain't lost a match yet. But I'm sorry, Les Femmes Fatales, that's a mighty tall order for them, even them to fill.
But of course, Angie Angel Guns, no stranger to the 6-woman tag format, being the captain of Next Gen, along with Rosita and Sophie Spartan.
That's true, still gonna make for a good match. Angie, Josie, and Lisa ain't gonna be flying blind exactly.
I think this match, and the previous ladies tag team match before it, are a sure indication that RWL's ladies division is exceptional.
You can't argue with that, Dandy Don. That is the absolute truth. We got one of the best ladies divisions anywhere in the world.
Their opponents, from Washington, D.C., Jet Williams, from Raleigh, North Carolina, Goddess Mimi Emerson, and, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Taylor Holly Combs, the Rage Women's Tag Champions, and the Ladies Tag Trio Champions, Les Femmes Fatales.
The hand-picked protégés of the sexy soul sister of the Squared Circle, Dynamite Jeannie Parker. On the left, Jet Williams. On the right, Goddess Mimi Emerson. And in the center, former Women's International Champion Taylor Holly Combs, THC. Les Femmes Fatales. Here on Rage, certainly a force to be reckoned with. Jet and Mimi, of course, the Rage Women's Tag Team Champions. Together with Dynamite Jeannie Parker, they are the Ladies Tag Trio Champions. And as I mentioned, Taylor Holly Combs, former Women's International Champion, who sometimes will fill in for Jeannie Parker, utilizing a variation of the Freebird rule. This should be a really good match. I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Naturally, I'm favoring Jet and Mimi, of course. They've been so good lately. And with Taylor Holly Combs in the mix, it's going to be even better.
Yeah, well, makes sense to me. But we can't rule out the fact that Los Reinos have won their last 4 consecutive matches. And, well, I know it's a different format, 6-woman tag and everything, but Angie is the Women's International Champion. I'd say it's going to be a fair split as to which one of these two teams is going home with the W.
I thought you agreed with us. Les Femmes Fatales have this one in the bag.
I do, but still, there's that streak of Los Reinos. That's pretty impressive. Oh, man. Well, no matter what happens, we're going to have ourselves a dynamite 6-woman tag team match, and that's for damn sure.
All right, Josie Robb and Jet Williams starting things off as Walt Rothburn rings the bell. Josie opens up with a series of rights. Jet Williams counters with a hip toss. Takes Josie down to the canvas near her team corner. An elbow to the head of Josie. Jet laying in a heel hook stretch on Josie Robb. They've already separated the ring in two, keeping Josie at a distance from her partners. Guy's strategy on behalf of Les Femmes Fatales. A kick to the leg from Jet Williams. Josie trying to get away, but Jet Williams on it like a hornet. Jet Williams snaps the leg on Josie Robb. Josie rounded up to the standing position again, whipped hard into the corner, falls into a seated position as Jet Williams takes a rebound off the ropes and a boot right across the face of Josie Robb. Jet Williams going for an immediate cover. 1, 2, Josie Robb kicking out. Jet Williams starts all over again, catches a kick to the midsection from Josie. They lock up. Face buster from Jet Williams. Jet Williams with a little bit of showboating here. Josie Robb making the tag to Lisa Rivera. Jet Williams takes out the referee, but not Lisa. Oh well. Whoopsie. Lisa Rivera winds it up. Goes behind on Jet Williams. And a suplex from Lisa. The referee might take him a moment to get him back. Oh, a driving knee from Lisa to Jet Williams. Jet Williams slams her down in the canvas. Delivers a kick to the midsection. Follows it up with a stomp to the same area. Runs it up. Gets ready to throw the switch, snaps both arms on Lisa Rivera. Jet Williams tagging in THC Taylor Holly Combs, who hangs up Josie and takes her down. Rebound off the ropes, gets a hold of her. There's the whirligig again. A very popular move among the cruiserweights here. THC whips Josie to the Femmes Fatale corner, tags in Mimi Emerson. Josie whipped to the corner, catches knees from Mimi. Mimi with a crucifix pin. How about this one? As basic as it gets. Mimi Emerson watching a series of shots. And look at this. Lisa Rivera not letting go. Mimi Emerson has to drop kick the knee to get her cut loose. A series of shots, misses with the spin kick. Lisa Rivera gets a hold of Mimi Emerson, whips her to the ropes. Here's a duck under. Lisa with the leapfrog. And a knee right to the head of Mimi Emerson, and down she goes. How does Mimi in trouble here? Lisa Rivera trying to keep her down, keep her off her vertical base. Gets a hold of the trunk and vertical suplex from Lisa. Lisa steps out, tags in Women's International Champion Angie Angel Guns, who catches a ride from Mimi Emerson. Angie with Mimi up over the shoulders. Mimi says, no you don't. Angie whips to the ropes. Mimi with the drop toe hold and an impromptu shiatsu, a little walk across the back of Angie Angel Guns. A face buster as Mimi covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, no. Angie quickly finding her way out of the pin. Mimi Emerson gathers Angie up, whips her to her team's corner. Mimi Emerson gonna take this one by herself. Drove Angie's face into the middle turnbuckle. That was nasty. Mimi Emerson whips Angie back into the corner again. Angie counters, finds her way out. Here's a kick to the midsection from Angie Angel Guns. Boom! Falling neckbreaker. And here comes Taylor Holly Combs. Taylor locks it up with Angie. Angie with elbows to the midsection. THC catches a chop, a kick. And Angie with a side suplex on Taylor Hollycomb. Taylor rounded up by Angie. Hard whip to her team's corner. Taylor Hollycomb introduced to the turnbuckle head first. Angie driving shoulder into the midsection of THC, and oh, look at this. Perhaps a bit of unprofessional conduct here from Angie Angel Guns. She makes no apologies for who she is. Here's a cover. One. That's a Guns family trait. Angie Angel Guns backs it up, drives the knee into the head of Taylor Hollycomb. Tags in Josie Rod. Oh, Taylor Hollycomb taken down by Lisa Rivera on the outside. Josie turns her attention to Jet Williams. Drapes her over the top rope. Delivers a hard right. A shoulder from Mimi Emerson, and out she goes. Josie. Very aggressive, a hard shot to the lower region. Taylor Hollycomb sneaks up from behind. Josie catches a back suplex from THC. Taylor Hollycomb has a rough scoop slam. A nice one. THC with a running arm breaker. Josie rounded up. THC whips her to the late fem's corner. And Taylor with a hard right. Belying her size. That was a powerful shot. Alley-oop assist out of the corner for Josie as Taylor Hollycomb covers one. Only one. Angie watching as her grandniece Josie has to make her way to the corner. Taylor Hollycomb's a little bit too busy showboating. And here it is, Angie Angel Guns brought in on the tag. She's been hot for this and clothesline. Takes down Taylor Hollycomb. And here's a tag to goddess Mimi Emerson. She locks up Angie. Lays her up against the ropes. And starts dribbling her off the ropes. With hard forearms to the back. Goddess Mimi Emerson delivers a stomp to the leg of Angie Angel Guns. Tries a knee into the side of Angie's head. Mimi lines up both arms and snaps, throwing the switch on both those arms. Mimi Emerson debating her next move here. Angie back on her feet, gets a hold of Mimi, whips her to the far right corner. Here's a clothesline from Angie Angel Guns, and down goes Mimi Emerson. Angie indicating to the fans here in Edmonton that she is A-OK. Here's a charge and a driving knee to the head of Mimi. A shoulder to Taylor Hollycomb, and out she went. A hard right to Mimi Emerson. Russian leg sweep from Angie. And look at this, into a submission. The referee checking things out, but it looks as if Mimi Emerson has found her way free. A couple of hard right hands seals the deal. Angie Angel Guns back on her feet. Mimi Emerson right there to greet her. Whips her to the femme fatale's corner. Here comes Jet Williams on the tag. Here comes a double team. There he is. Super kicks. As Jet Williams takes over for her team. Angie Angel Guns. Whoa! Jet Williams through the ropes. Turning herself into a human missile. Taking down Angie Angel Guns. As the referee begins the count. Angie driven headfirst into the lip of the apron. Angie gets a hold of Jet Williams. And now, escorting Jet towards the ring, rolls her back inside. Making a beeline for Mimi Emerson, drives her headfirst into the ring post. I think you've sung enough tonight, Pex. Jet Williams going to work on Lisa Rivera, taking her out of the equation. Angie Angel Guns back in the ring, delivers a kick to Jet. Here's a second one. And here we go. The flatliner. The trademark Guns family finisher right there. Here's a cover. One, but no. Taylor Hollycomb breaks up the pin, saves the match for her team. At least for now. Angie Angel Guns perhaps becoming a little bit frustrated at this point. With the match nearly halfway through. A hard right. Jet Williams counters with an elbow, gets a hold of Angie. Hard whip to the fem's corner. The women's international champion definitely on the wrong side of town here. Jet Williams with an off-the-top rope hurricane rana. That was amazing. Angie tagging in Josie Roth. Josie walks up Jet. The shoulder takes her down. Josie Roth rounds up Jet Williams. Gets a hold of her. Here's a kick to the midsection. Sends her up, falling neckbreaker to Jet Williams. Jet rolls out to the floor. Josie Roth moves in on Mimi. Mimi counters with a forearm. Josie goes after Taylor. Holly Combs as well. Takes herself out onto the apron with Taylor. Lands her into the lip of the apron. Ow. Josie Roth. Landing on the outside. Meanwhile, Jet Williams hangs up Angie off the middle rope. Jet Williams charges towards Josie. Josie gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the Las Vegas corner. There's an elbow from Jet Williams and a super kick, taking Josie down to the canvas. A hard kick to the back. Jet Williams in control of things right here. Here's a hard shot to Lisa Rivera. Josie with a hard shot to Jet. Oh, look at this. Oh, what a nasty stunner from Jet Williams. That was beautiful. Jet Williams tagging Lisa Rivera, a parting shot. Before making her way back to her corner, here comes Goddess Mimi Emerson. Excuse me, Taylor Holly Combs. Taylor gets a hold. But Josie slams her into the turnbuckle in the far corner, delivers a chop across the chest. Is she going to try and tag out? I guess not. A kick from Josie. THC counters, rebounds off the rope, gets a hold of Josie. There's the whirligig. And out rolls Josie Roth. Taylor Holly Combs with the hard whip to the left femmes corner again. Taylor Holly Combs slams Josie's head into the buckle one more time. Josie counters with an elbow, finds her way out of the corner. Hard shot to the midsection of Taylor Holly Combs. And a nasty backbreaker. Center of the ring. Josie turning it over to her sister Lisa. A running knee takes Taylor Holly Combs down to the canvas, followed up with a stomp to the back. Taylor counters with a kick, gets back up on her feet, goes for the cover. 1, 2, and no. Lisa fighting her way out of the pin. Taylor Holly Combs with a stomp to the midsection and a rolling elbow across the back of Lisa. Taylor delivers a kick to the back as a parting shot and turns it over to Mimi Emerson. Josie. Whoa, quick counter from Josie, drives a knee into the head of Mimi Emerson. Kick to the midsection. And here it is again, the flatliner. Center ring, here's a cover. 1, 2. Close but no cigar. Here comes Angie Angel Guns, the women's international champion, with Mimi Emerson. Exactly where she wants it. There's a kick to the back. Mimi turned over by Angie. Sweeping the leg from Mimi Emerson. Angie Angel Guns. Wrong-footed there. And there's a falling neckbreaker from Mimi. Mimi Emerson going to work on Angie Angel Guns near the left femmes corner again, keeping Angie away from her tag team partners. Here comes Jet Williams. This match has carried on for some. Whoa, nasty clothesline. Out goes Mimi. Jet Williams gets a hold of her, whips her to the rope, drop toe hold, and another quick walk across the back of Angie Angel Guns. Angie not appreciating that one. A series of hard rights. And whoa, what a slam from Angie Angel Guns. She steps out and turns it over to Lisa. Lisa missing with her move. Ditto. Jet Williams with a shot to the back. Whips Lisa to the corner. Lisa counters with an elbow. Catches a shot from Mimi Emerson. Jet Williams introduces Lisa's head to the corner. Hard shot to the face. Down goes Lisa Rivera. And Jet Williams helps her out of the corner again. And here's the tag to Taylor Holly Combs. THC Moves in on Lisa here. A rebound off the ropes and bottom moonsault from THC. Taylor Holly Combs with a standing moonsault. This time, Lisa Rivera catching all kinds of heck here at the hands of Taylor Holly Combs. Seems to be taking her time about dealing with Lisa Rivera. Rounds her back up to a standing position. An elbow, a chop, a shot that spins her around, and there's a chop block that takes her to Lisa Rivera favoring that leg. As Taylor Holly Combs takes down Josie Rod. Tries to take down Angie Angel Guns, but apparently not. Taylor Holly Combs returns her attention, slams the head of Lisa Rivera into the canvas. Turns her attention back to Angie. Tags her with a right. Goes back to Lisa. Gets a hold of her. Whips her to her team's corner. Taylor Holly Combs yanking for all she's worth against those arms and against those ropes. THC catches an elbow. Lisa gets a hold of THC and squirts her to the far right corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Taylor Holly Combs. And again, Lisa with a hard right to the back. Lisa Rivera slams Taylor Holly Combs into the turnbuckle again. Oh, well, here we go. A blatant choke from Lisa Rivera. And out rolls Taylor Holly Combs. Lisa covers and hooks the leg here. 1, 2. But again, no dice. Taylor Holly Combs kicking out. There's a kick right to the face from Lisa Rivera. There's a stomp to the shoulder. Lisa steps out, tags in Josie Rod. And this match is running out of time too, man. Just amazing. Josie Rod waiting for Taylor Holly Combs. Taylor counters the kick, gets shoved away. A right or left, and wind up and slam face first into the canvas. Taylor Holly Combs rounded up by Josie. A hard right hand takes her down. Here comes Angie Angel Guns again. Angie moves in. Supposed to work on a down Taylor Holly Combs. Angie Angel Guns working on the arms of THC. Now a series of hard right hands to the head. Taylor Holly Combs, the women's international champion. Oh, well, now a series of spiked thumbs right to the throat of Taylor Holly Combs. Definitely unsportsmanlike conduct. As Josie's tagged in again, a running knee, down goes Taylor Holly Combs. Here's a cover. 1, 2. And that's it. That is it. Los Reinos and Angie Angel Guns picking up the win.
Here's the time, 17 minutes, 20 seconds, and your winners, Los Reinas and Angie Angel Guns.
Angie and Los Reinos with a buzzer beater, sparing us all from a time limit draw, of course, but talk about an upset. Angie Angel Guns and her grandnieces, Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera, picking up an upset win over Les Femmes Fatales.
Well, I'm still kind of surprised myself, Don.
So am I. We'll be back with more RWL Rage in our main event with Rob the Bob Whitley right after this. All right, folks, in our main event, this one is big. Rob the Bob Whitley, one half of the Southern Gentleman, the dual champion, is set to face the Deutschenhammer Josef von Schmidt to see which of them will be facing Warlord Santos for a title opportunity. So whoever wins is in giant-sized trouble.
Tonight's Rage main event is non-titled and scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle along with World Heavyweight Champion American Supreme Matt Clark from Pembroke, North Carolina, weighing 265 pounds, one half of the TV Tag Champion Southern Gentleman, Rod the Bod Whitley.
Them boys sure do like to make an entrance, don't they? The Southern Gentleman, Rod the Bob Whitley, accompanied by American Supreme Matt Clark, the World Heavyweight Champion. These guys just dripping in gold and doing pretty damn well for themselves. Here's an interesting little tidbit. During the break, Matt Clark and Rod Whitley accosted me in the hallway, and they want to have a sit-down with Steve Groves and myself.
So what's that all about?
Well, it's kind of top secret James Bond stuff for right now, but I'm sure it'll come to fruition, and when it does, you guys will find out.
Oh, top secret James Bond type stuff, huh?
Yep. Can't really talk about it too much, but there will be a sit-down with the Southern Gentlemen and the managers of Snarl and Rage in the very near future.
Well, that sounds very intriguing, Tex. You're definitely going to have to keep us posted.
Of course I'm going to keep you posted.
His opponent from Dresden, Germany, weighing 275 pounds, Das Deutschenhammer, Josef von Schmidt.
When it comes to hunger, Josef von Schmidt is starving as far as championship gold is concerned. Das Deutschenhammer with an opportunity here to get a shot at the Mexican monolith Warlord Santos, but he's going to have to go through Rob the Bob Whitley first. And they're both going to have to wait.
Yeah, that's right. You said something about there's a deal involved between Matt Clark and Warlord Santos.
Absolutely. It's a clause in the original contract from when they both wrestled and Santos took the belt from Matt Clark. Now, it's in the contract that if Matt Clark still had the World Heavyweight Championship 90 days thereafter, they would have a rematch. Matt Clark still has the title, so there's going to be a rematch. Von Schmidt certainly prioritizing more need than want in this particular encounter with Rob the Bob Whitley. While there are no titles on the line, the opportunity to face Warlord Santos for one of his 3 titles is still very distinctly there. A great main event with Josef von Schmidt determined to win, and equally Rob the Bob Whitley equally determined not to lose this match.
Sounds like a main event to me.
As referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, here we go. Whitley with a hard right to Von Schmidt, goes behind rear waistlock. Von Schmidt counters with an elbow. Gets a hold of Rob Whitley. Whips Whitley to the ropes. Von Schmidt ducks under. An elbow right to the face of Rob the Bob Whitley, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. And now a series of spiteful kicks from Josef von Schmidt. Das Deutschenhammer playing with Rob the Bob Whitley might not be a good idea. Whitley counter whips Von Schmidt out onto the apron. A hard right hand to Von Schmidt. And a second. Josef von Schmidt finally tumbles out onto the floor after 3 hard right hands from Rob the Bob Whitley. One half of the Legends TV Tag Champions, Rod Whitley, over the rope, goes to the outside as the referee continues to count. A stomp to the leg of Josef von Schmidt. Von Schmidt back up on his feet. Rod Whitley gets a hold of him. Drives Josef von Schmidt into the ring steps and immediately is right on Von Schmidt. Rod Whitley winds up the arm and snaps it. Von Schmidt gathered up by Rod Whitley, who has regained the momentum here from Das Deutschenhammer. Von Schmidt rolled back into the ring by Rod Whitley. Von Schmidt back up on his feet, a clothesline that barely glances. Von Schmidt gonna make him pay. There's a shot to the back, a chop to the chest. Down goes Rob the Bob Whitley as Von Schmidt rebounds off the ropes. A splash with the whole butt right across the midsection of Whitley. A clothesline takes him down yet again. Das Deutschenhammer whips Whitley to the ropes again with the duck under. A leapfrog this time from Von Schmidt and into a beautifully executed power slam from Das Deutschenhammer, Josef von Schmidt. Von Schmidt opens up on Whitley with a series of shots. Whitley against the ropes. A hard right from Von Schmidt. Von Schmidt takes Whitley down to the canvas, rebounds off the rope, a stomp to the chest. And Von Schmidt goes for the cover. 1. And just a 1. American Supreme Matt Clark on the outside, rallying the fans. And so is Josef von Schmidt. Das Deutschenhammer with a stomp to Whitley. Whitley catches a knee. Von Schmidt getting into it with American Supreme Matt Clark. And these two have been friends and rivals. Whitley makes his way back to a standing position, makes his way around the corner and back inside the ring. The debate between Clark and Von Schmidt completed. Whitley locks up Von Schmidt, has him up, escorts him towards the corner, drops him head first into the turnbuckle. Rob the Bob Whitley trying to regain control. Here's the drop toe hold to Josef von Schmidt. Into a possible submission, but Von Schmidt breaks it up with a series of hard right hands to Rod Whitley. Whitley back to a standing position. Whitley caught by Von Schmidt, whipped to the far corner. Oh, what a running boot to the face of Rod Whitley. Again, Josef von Schmidt playing with his food here. Whitley back up on his feet. Gets a hold of Josef von Schmidt. Hard whip to the ropes and a kitchen sink knee to the midsection as Rod Whitley covers center ring. 1, 2, no. Just a 1, barely a 2. A stomp to von Schmidt from Whitley. Whitley rounds him up over the shoulder, turns him over, and whoa, reverse dominator from Rod Whitley. A stomp right to the face of Das Deutschenhammer. Von Schmidt counters a dragon screw. Whitley taken down to the canvas again, and von Schmidt sadistically stomping the hands and fingers of Rod the Bod Whitley. Von Schmidt taken down with a beautiful spear from Rod Whitley. A clubbing right to the head. Again, both these men battling for an opportunity to face Warlord Santos for a title shot. Whitley whips Von Schmidt back out into center ring. Gets a hold of him, full Nelson, and whoa! A beautiful one-arm slam from a full Nelson from Rod Whitley. Beautifully executed move. A chop across the chest from Von Schmidt. The leg draped over the middle rope. Whitley yanks those ropes for all he's worth. Tries for the drop toe hold again, but misses it. Von Schmidt gets a hold of him, has him up over the shoulder. Squirts him towards the ropes, hangs him up off the top rope. Down goes Rod Whitley. Another stomp to the leg from Josef von Schmidt. Das Deutschenhammer in control here. Oh! A stomp to the lower abdomen, and von Schmidt walks it off. A kick to the side of the head of Rod Whitley. Von Schmidt with a couple of chops. Whitley backed up badly. Von Schmidt with a series of shots across the chest of Whitley and a running boot right to the face. Whitley rolls to the outside for a reset. He ain't going to get one. Von Schmidt off the top rope, misses with the flying kick. Whitley back inside the ring. Von Schmidt's plans gone awry. Whitley bringing it on here. Oh! Von Schmidt with a vicious series of elbows to the head of Rod Whitley, and here's a cover. 1, 2. I don't believe it. Rod Whitley powering out of the pin after that brutal series of elbows from Von Schmidt. Von Schmidt rounds up Rod Whitley, has him up for the powerbomb, nails it, and here's a pin. 1, 2. And again, somehow Rod Whitley finding his way out of a pin that should have ended this match. Von Schmidt driving a frantic knee into the face of Rod Whitley. Von Schmidt rebounds off the ropes, another belly splash, as once again the momentum shifts towards Josef von Schmidt in this wild matchup so far. Whitley catches a stomp to the face from von Schmidt, a stomp to the back of the head. Das Deutschenhammer driving a series of knees into the side of the head of Rod Whitley, and he is taking quite a bit of abuse from the German super soldier. Von Schmidt with a hold on Whitley, whips him to the ropes, gets a hold of him, goes behind. German suplex from Das Deutschenhammer. Von Schmidt rebounds off the ropes again, another splash across the midsection of Rod Whitley. And again, Rod Whitley rapidly losing control of this one. Von Schmidt gets the leg swept by Rod Whitley, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Rod Whitley winds up the arm on Von Schmidt, a kick right to the chest, a driving knee right into the head of Josef von Schmidt. He rolls to the outside. Rod Whitley all the way up from the top turnbuckle. Here we go, death from above. A chop right across the head of von Schmidt by Rod Whitley. Whitley, gathered up by Josef von Schmidt, smashes his head into the lip of the apron. A series of brutal kicks to the head as the referee counts. Von Schmidt taken down by Rod Whitley with a spear. Whitley gathers up Von Schmidt. Von Schmidt counters with elbows to Rod Whitley. Whitley gathered up by Von Schmidt again. Almost driven into the apron one more time, but Whitley, oh! A one-arm slam takes Von Schmidt, and he hit hard. Whitley makes his way back inside the ring. Josef von Schmidt indicating to the fans that he's all right, but Rod Whitley wants him to get back in here and finish this match. Von Schmidt catches a running kick from Whitley just out of no place. Here's a cover. 1. And just a 1. Josef von Schmidt raising the left shoulder. Whitley right there waiting for him. A hard right, a kick, another kick, and a hurricane runner from Rod Whitley. Von Schmidt starting to lose control of things now as Rod Whitley really starts to ramp it up here. A gator roll from Rod Whitley on Von Schmidt has him up. Look at this. From out of the gator roll, gut wrench suplex from Whitley. American Supreme Matt Clark watching his cousin do his thing. Von Schmidt with a dragon screw goes for a cover and hooks the leg. 1, 2, just a 2, no, still a 1. So says referee Walt Rothburn. Von Schmidt bleeding, Rod Whitley bleeding. This one has been a ride. Whitley whipped to the far right corner. Von Schmidt with a chop across the chest. Josef Von Schmidt turns Whitley around, drives a shot to the back of the head. Gathers him, shoves him back into the turnbuckles. He rebounds out into a German suplex from Das Deutschenhammer. Von Schmidt covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Are you serious? Rod Whitley absolutely refusing to go here. Josef Von Schmidt having to start all over again, but he does have momentum on his side. Von Schmidt beating the head of Rod Whitley against the mat. Von Schmidt with a kick. Whitley puts on the brakes here. Gets a hold of Josef Von Schmidt. Escorts him towards the far right corner. Smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Whitley countered by Von Schmidt. Von Schmidt gets a hold of Whitley. Front cradle. Escorts him towards the corner. Drives his back into the turnbuckle and just tosses him out towards center. Von Schmidt, perhaps smelling blood in the water here, gets a hold of Whitley. Whitley goes behind, slips through the back door, says surprise, surprise. Von Schmidt slams Whitley face first to the canvas. My goodness. Josef Von Schmidt. Here we go. The Geistbreaker. Von Schmidt with a submission here on Rod Whitley. Von Schmidt releases the hold. Perhaps thinking enough damage has been done. But that might not be a good idea. Von Schmidt charges a boot right to the side of the head of Whitley and out to the floor he goes. He is all messed up. Von Schmidt comes on out after Whitley. Gets a hold of him. Rolls him back inside the ring. Rod the Bod Whitley in big time trouble here as Von Schmidt really starts to ramp things up. Off we go. Misses with the elbow drop. Whitley right there to pick up the pieces. Von Schmidt whipped to the ropes. Whitley goes behind. There's a German suplex. And there's a second. And Rod Whitley gonna go for the trifecta here. Here we go. The hat trick. Nailed by Rod Whitley on Josef Von Schmidt. And Von Schmidt being dragged towards center ring by Rod Whitley, and he is out. Whitley covers. 1, 2, 3. You can forget about it. You could count to 5,000. Rod the Bod Whitley picks up the win.
Here's the time, 12 minutes, 37 seconds. Here's your winner, Rod the Bod Whitley.
So what does all this come to? Rod has a title shot against the Mexican Monolith, who he has never beaten so far as I can ever remember. That is true. But nonetheless, Rod the Bod Whitley will certainly try to take down the King of the Monsters when they meet at the Labor Day Slamathon.
Man, Rod Whitley sure put out Von Schmidt with that triple German suplex. Wow, that was amazing. Guys, it has been an absolute blast hanging out with y'all. And you guys will have to come down to Snarl sometime.
I certainly like that, Tex. But we'll probably be seeing each other very soon. Alright, pals, that's going to do it for this week's edition of RWL Rage. As always, we thank all of you for joining us, for spending some time with us, and for supporting RWL Wrestling. Fans, we will be back midweek with a special edition, a 1-hour RWL Legends Showdown, making its return after almost a year's absence. Alright, folks, we'll be back next week, and RWL Snarl will fall this Saturday as usual. For all of us here at RWL, I've been Don Hickson saying thank you, good night, we'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.